Bananas, mangoes, avocados. These are all buzzwords that probably got your attention. If you live in Florida, you can grow all these things. You don't have to be a farmer to do it. You essentially grow a food forest. Now I'm going to show you how you can get one of these going initially by starting something like this. This area, it's about there's about an 8 by 20. This has about 25 different types of plants that are in here. It's gonna have an awesome ground cover like these Dune Sunflowers. And I'm gonna show you exactly some mistakes that people generally make when they put something in, why you wanna put a food forest system like this in, especially if you live in Florida and you have this going on, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And the biggest thing is here is that we have an area, you can see it's part shade, also it is part sun. Another thing that a lot of us have to deal with in Florida, I'm gonna tell you why full sun does not mean full sun. That is a lie. And a couple things in here that you might notice why things look like they're dead, but they're not. We're gonna resurrect these things. Stay tuned, we're gonna show you how you can bring back Eden. Right here, we're in Bradenton, Florida today. All right, so this is mid-April. So still, it's not humid out. It's a little toasty in here. We are in Bradenton, Florida. We have a great food forest area going over here, and we are going to expand that out right into this area over here. And as I showed you, we have an oak that's coming up here. You can see this big canopy. There's also a huge banyan right here as well. This area, the grass doesn't really come in. If it's a lot of you in Florida, this grass is, it's not grass, it's basically weeds, and you hope for the rainy season that it rains enough that it looks like grass, you can mow it and you can kind of fit in. But we don't want to fit in. We want to grow food, not lawns, especially when it looks something like this. There's a couple things that we're doing here. Besides growing food, we're also going to amend the soil here. So there's a couple phases. And this is what we mean when we say bring back Eden. We want this stuff to be a fertile area here. We want it to be productive, growing food, something that you can leave as a legacy for your kids, or even a upsell value when you want to refinance your home, when you want to sell your home, whatever it is. This is continuously adding value. We want to be abundant, and we want to have something that has longevity, not lawns that don't produce anything and you're just killing stuff, whatever. So we're going to go through the system. We're going to go through a couple mistakes that people generally will make, and then a couple things that when we put in a system, people call us and be like, hey, this doesn't look right. I think my plants are dying. They're not dying. They're just going through a shock period like any one of us will do. I'm going to go through this real quick here, and we're going to take a look. And you can initially see this system here. We put in all dwarf varieties. The banyan's about, I'd say 15 feet up. So we want to keep everything low here. We have the sun coming here. This is the south side. Look at these beautiful natural clouds that we have coming here. I like when God and the angels play, when they play tic-tac-toe in the sky. That's always fun. But they only do it on Wednesdays, Mondays, and on Saturdays here in the Bradenton, Sarasota area. But we're going to go through this real quick, and we're going to show you how this abandoned area can start to look like this. So there's 3 reasons why we really wanted to grow food on our property, which this actually is my home. So the first reason is just abundance. We just wanted something that wasn't toxic. We wanted something that wasn't chemicals. It was like just hard to put in the effort of growing grass. You can see here the grass just doesn't grow. It's a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. It's unproductive. It doesn't make sense. The second thing is we love fruit. We want the abundance of fruit coming in. We want to be healthy. And when people say healthy, I want to see measurable results of health. And this is something that we like to do when we're putting in food installs. We're putting in X amount of plants. This is the annual return. This is the yield that you will get. And when you do that, this is what you will actually get from those fruits. So when we look at fruits and vegetables, we can see a decline across the board in supermarkets because one, they could be a month, 2 months, 3 months old. They freeze them. They do all these things. They're GMO'd. They're in crappy soils. They spray them. They do all these things. Here, we can actually control. So not a lot of things that we can control in the world. Men like to control a lot of things. This is one thing that we can control, at least what the inputs are. The outputs, that's up to God, that's up to nature, that's up to the elements of what we're actually going to get, but we can control it as best as possible. And then the third reason why we grow food, because it creates a beautiful landscape that we get to use to honor and glorify God. It's like we see, you know, there's a lot of cool like flowers or whatever that grow here, and that's nice, but no one really cares about that. These are conversation starters. They're beautiful, they're abundant, they taste delicious, and it gets us talking about our faith, because inevitably we are going to sit down with people and we're going to talk, we're going to commune, we're going to have dinners with them, and then that's where we can actually build community, where we can have meaningful, deeper conversations, especially around the dinner table. For us, we pray before every meal as a family. So there's a lot of elements here, no matter where you are in your faith journey or whatever. This, I guarantee, will help you find something deeper in purpose and meaning, especially if you're working alongside the system, than ever just planting some random thing that you're not paying attention to. Some guy's coming and just hacking it for $300 a month to maintain it. This, you're actually getting production. You're getting what you put in as an investment. It comes back 5, 6, 7, 8-fold within a couple years. So that's why we're growing food. And we're going to take exactly a look at what this system is. All right, so the first thing that you would notice is that, like I said, that's the south side, is the east side, west side. So we're starting to get the sun right here around 11 o'clock. It's starting to creep in and it's starting to hit right here. So if we want to sweep through and see exactly what we got going on, we are doing like a bigger layer. We already have our canopy layer. So we're looking at permaculture concepts. We have our big canopy layer here, and then we're going with the shrubs, kind of the medium-sized trees. We have the pollinators, we have the ground covers. We're gonna go through this. We have the bananas for biomass here. So here we have a cherry of the Rio Grande. This is a great shrub. It's gonna fill in this area. The fruits are delicious. Around it, we have like the lemongrass here. We have some pineapples. This is oak. So we're using an oak mulch. We also have like a compost mix that's right underneath it. These are both locally sourced as best that we possibly could. And the idea here is we want to go from this, we want to build up the soil. So if you look at this established system here, if we kind of dig in, like, let's take a look and see what the soil looks like. Here we have an avocado. Look at little babies that we have going here, little baby avocados here. So if you dig in, look, I don't even have to go deep to see this. This was sand just like that. Now look how beautiful this soil is. This is why we want to put down a lot of mulch. We want to suppress the weeds. We want to keep in the moisture. But the idea is we don't want to keep putting mulch, more mulch. We want to have great ground covers like this Dune Sunflower. Look how pretty this is. And that's going to cover this area and create this beautiful ecosystem. That's what we want to do. We don't want to just have a tree in the middle of the yard like we see most of the time. We want to create an ecosystem. So here, these trees, these mangoes, which typically like a lot of light, they're going to get about 6 hours, 6 to 7 hours of sunlight, depending on the time of year. Now in Florida, that's actually full sun because the sun is so bright. Take a look. Oh my, the sun is so bright that it's going to just be hitting this all day. So we don't want it in a ton of sun because then they're going to start to wither up. You're going to have to really have a lot of irrigation on them at night. We want to make this as low maintenance as possible. So that's what we're doing here. So we have a couple dwarf mango varieties here. We have a Fairchild, and then here we have Mallika, I believe it's called. Now, if you take a look at the Mallika, you might think, and look, why, Matthew, are you showing this thing that looks like it's dead? This is a call that we get a lot from customers. They're like, hey, you put in a tree, it didn't cut it. It's dying. What's up, brother? It's dying. It's not doing its thing. We have one, well, there it goes. We have one leaf left. Now, don't get rid of this, put that in. That now serves as mulch. It's going to be an organic matter that's going to break down. But look, you can see. This has only been in the ground for a week, and you can start to see, look at all the new growth coming in. So this tree, like anything else, if you go to biblical principles, you have to drop your old way, drop the things that aren't serving you, pick up your cross and go. Or just, we look at it like when we moved here to Bradenton, Florida, from Los Angeles, there was a shock factor for our whole family. Now, our one son thrived. He was like this mango. He jumped right into it. He was ripping and going. Our other son was more like this. He got quiet. He shedded a lot of things. We were kind of unsure about what's going to happen with him, but then he started blossoming, and now he's blooming, and now he's awesome, and I'm very proud of him. And so much of these systems that we grow pertain not to just nature, but to life in general, the abundance of life. So this Fairchild Mango, see, he's starting to get his buds coming in here too. All right, so while we're on this tree, a mistake that a lot of people make is they want to stake it, right? They want to make sure that their tree doesn't come down, that their investment is solid and secure. But the problem is that people don't remove these, so they just stay on. Now if you take a look here, take a look at the tag. Let me pull this back some, so you can see like it's doing it already. There's the graft, and now you can see where it's starting to cut in. So all these things will start to cut in. So if you have this at your place, take these off. I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna take this off with a knife, but take them off. They're gonna hinder the growth. They're gonna dig in there. See, that's covering up a node. That's keeping a potential branch from coming out. So you wanna get rid of these. If you do want to stake, do something light. There's like that Velcro stuff that you can just put around here, but do something like that instead. But take these off. Don't leave those sitting on. Got over here. Did I do it because I forgot, or do I do it for educational purposes? I'll leave that up to you to decide. But anyway, see, like, look how tight that is right there. We don't want that. That's, oh shoot. It's no good. Get rid of this. So these are our two staple trees. These are about 8 foot apart. These are dwarf varieties, so they'll get about 8 feet by like 6 feet. We're gonna keep them pruned. We're gonna keep them right in here. This is gonna look really pretty when you come in, and that's the first thing that somebody sees. They're gonna see these beautiful mango trees that stay evergreen. Like you can see this mango right over here. They just stay like that all year round. They're beautiful. Unfortunately, that guy dropped his mangoes. The squirrels were leaping and eating them. But these guys, we'll see, it's part of a system. So the support species that we have in here, we have the lemongrasses that will come in, and these grasses will be nice and full. Like you can see how some of these other grasses come in. They'll be awesome in here. Then we have these, you know what these are? Most people probably don't know what these are, but those right there, those are, well, let's take a look over here. You'll see a system where they thrive in, and you'll get an idea of what they are. You know what that is? Yeah, that's a pineapple. Now, the cool thing about this pineapple is that this guy is about a year old, but look, look how many little pineapples are starting to come. Look, we got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 down there, so 5 pineapples coming off this one. Great thing about pineapples is they take a little bit to go, but once they start going, they become pretty productive. I also want to have that in this system here, so just any rodents, squirrels or anything coming across, it's a little bit of a deterrent for them. Also, the lemongrass, it's pretty potent for them, so we want to deter them. You might be looking at this guy right here and thinking, why are you showing this? And by the way, we're probably going to put a border around here, but why are you showing this thing? This thing looks like it's dead. Okay, I don't know what you call it, but as I was saying, this thing looks like it's dead. My phone literally died, so take that for what you want. But this right here is a strawberry guava. Guavas are awesome. It's a great bush, kind of what we have over there for the cherry of the Rio Grande. This will be a nice bush that fills in this area. It's got these little berries. I have one in the back I'd show you, but don't really. And when I say homeowner, I mean our home. But anyway, so this guy looks like it's struggling. So when we put in something kind of like that mango, somebody will be like, hey, like what's up with this thing? Now, sometimes plants work, sometimes they don't. It's just, it depends, right? And that's why we can't always guarantee a plant, but we would come in and try to fix it and amend as best that we can. But a cool trick that you can do is if you have something that looks like it's dead here, just take your finger and just run it right like that. See how that's green right in there? Focus on that. See how that's green? And take my word for it. No, it's green. Oh, no, there we go. Anyway, see that's green right in there. That means that this thing is still alive. It's still good. It's still alive. There we go. So you're good here. We just water it. We just maintain it. We just watch it. But this will fill in really nicely. You could probably prune this a little bit. I'm going to wait because it's my own home, so I'm going to wait and let it go. But this will fill in this area here. We have Mexican sunflower. This just comes right off of cuttings. We have a big one in the back. Shout out to Cameron James. I think I got this cutting from his place. But we had this right here. And then look, this just starts growing. This is in like a week. In a week, this starts doing that. We have gingers. Oh, I got to put this ginger in. I actually have not put this in yet. So these are all fresh that I still got to get in. We have canna lilies, which are beautiful. Let's take a look. This is what the canna lily will look like right here. So the idea is that we have these canna lilies here. We have the bananas. it's kind of this same-ish system, except for we put in more mangoes. We'll have this ground cover here. This will all be like this, but the canna lilies, one, they look beautiful, but when they're dead, you just chop them, you drop them, you put it right back in the system we talk about all the time. That'll feed the bananas. You want a lot of biomass because the bananas will eat that up. Even if it's dry, if it's really dry out, the bananas will still thrive if they have a lot, one, mulch, because mulch holds in soil, it keeps out, or it holds in moisture and it keeps out the weeds. But you just dig holes down in here. That's what we do. I just dig a hole. I'll put in food scraps, compost, whatever it is, and then I'll cover this up and this will just continue to eat it. Now, the great thing about bananas, it also serves as a chop and drop. So I can come through here and I can cut that, cut that, cut that, cut that. Particularly when something's new and you get it in this system, you want to take out a lot of this stuff so it can focus on the roots and getting in there. These are kind of the tips and tricks that we do when we're putting in a food system. We have a little papaya going right here. I chose to go with a little papaya because it's my own place, and I got this from seed from a tree that I loved, and it went down during the hurricane. So re-putting that back in. Another ginger I got to get into the ground. More Mexican sunflower. This right here, I don't know if you can know what it is. I'm digging here. This guy is dead. This is a rainbow eucalyptus. Now, a lot of people use eucalyptus in their system. Byron loves to use them. Matt Reese loves to use them. We had 3 of them right here just because they look majestic and awesome. But I made a huge mistake as a homeowner and I put it under this canopy. So this side was beautiful. The back side, obviously where this is, was just struggling. So I didn't want to keep chopping and dropping it. A lot of the times people use this because eucalyptus grows super fast. Like this could be a syntropic row here where you have a fruit tree, banana, eucalyptus, and you can cut them and you can create biomass for your main fruit trees, which we have here. We kind of have a staggered syntropic row, but I just want these because they look beautiful. We have them in the back. So I took out 2 other ones. I put them in the back. They're in full sun. They're thriving right now. This guy I want to leave in, just let it kind of break down. I have a banana underneath here. So what I did is I put the corum of a banana. So basically I took a banana that looked like it was dying. I cut it at the base. So what we do is we cut it right here. We just put this back into the system. You turn it upside down, you have all the roots out, you cut all the roots out, and then you plant it upside down. So that's what I did here. And again, this is a week. So if you have bananas that get put in the ground, they look like they're not working. A lot of times what we want to do, yeah, it looks awesome to have the leaves up because it looks tropical and it looks like it's doing its thing. But a lot of times the best thing to do, like we said, is to reset, cut, put that upside down, and now all these new pups will start coming out of that banana. A lot of people don't want to wait, but it'll be a stronger root system. And again, that's what we want. We want all that energy to flow in to the root system initially so that we can get heavy production. I'm going to come right over here, and what I tucked back in under here, now this gets generally more sun than I'm assuming over here will throughout the long haul of the day. Although when the sun gets right around here, this starts to block. So then this loses the shade first, and then that gets a little bit more sun. So it's kind of a give and take, but we have a peanut butter fruit right here. Peanut butter fruit. Now, if you've ever had this is another great shrub. So we have the shrub over there. We have the shrub here. The idea is we're gonna make brick pathways that come through here, go through the back, and build this all out. But the idea is we want to be able to walk and create like these trails, but you're picking and pulling. You're eating the whole time. That's the beauty of systems like this. So if you look and see what's over here, you come over more on this side. Now it's still dry right now. It's not the rainy season. We got to reset. I got to remulch. So this is generally the system. And if I kind of want this wild, but if you really want this clean, which we do, you create those pathways. We really fill it in with you start to see a lot of things coming up. We got a bunch of pigeon peas we have growing in here. We have jewels of opar. These are beautiful. It's edible. We have the papayas, we have the bananas, we have the ground covers. So we have a lot of these beautiful ground covers. I'm gonna put that in over there, but you make these great pathways. You can use stone, you can use anything to create a nice pathway. And then the idea is you make this like a little beautiful guild here. But this is the idea of what we're gonna start seeing over there is you're gonna start to see the system start to really get robust. You can see it here. All these plants are coming together, starting to get robust. We have Okinawa spinach, we have longevity spinach, we have katuk, We have our coconuts right here. South seed salad, baby stroller because we have babies. I'm trying to put plants in the car, but I got to take it out because with the baby stroller on there, if you know, you know. But the idea is that it starts to get nice and full and thick, and then you can create pathways. So that's the idea of what a food forest will eventually start to look like. But it's got to start somewhere. So for us, for this particular little area that I'm experimenting with, if you haven't had katuk, it's like a nutty flavor. I can't even, oh, it's so good. But I could take cuttings of this as a try. Take some of these cuttings, and I'll probably put it in here because I really want to fill this area out. But you can start to see now we're pushing around 1 o'clock, 1:30. Now it's starting to get this full sun in here. Now areas over here that I have where we generally have full sun in the morning, it'll start to shift the dynamic. Now a lot of things when you come into your home and you're trying to plant out food, trying to grow food, I got a new rig here, by the way. I'm trying to grow food. You want to follow the light. The light is it's so key. It's so important. I just put in this jackfruit. I got to get a little bit more water on that. I have an irrigation system, but this is a great way to see if your irrigation system works. You put a new plant in, you assume you have irrigation, so you don't actually check, and then you start to see it looks like this. I went back, checked the irrigation. I realized that it was clogged. So better off figuring that out before losing your plants. But you start to see how this is starting to fill in. This is like August last year, so it's like 8 months ish. We got the citrus. We tucked the citrus under this banyan right here. Got the chai, got the bananas. Look at some racks going up here. We're blocking off this big building here. It's the only downside of this property, but so we have oaks coming in. We're like blocking all this off. We have a sapodilla right there. We have a ton of bananas. We have the peach sitting right here. But the idea is that we want to create this thing that, look, you see we have pathways, ground covers. Just, oh my gosh, I just stepped on something. I have bougainvillea over here just because it felt like a good idea. And it's pretty and it's a cool head, but I'm going to trim it and I step on it. And I'm always barefoot. And if you live in Florida, you get it. If you're not barefoot, you should probably start doing it. But I put in, you can see here, I put in a lot of like pigeon peas and put in a lot of support species that are gonna start going here, and they're gonna be awesome for a season. I'll chop them down, put them back in the soil, and continue to build up. Like, just look at this. I got these logs, they're slowly breaking down. This was all that sand area. So this is kind of similar to that area over here. It's just the reverse time frame during the day, and we always just wanna be watching where the sun is. So this property had nothing when we first got it. This was barren, nothing, dry, sandy. Didn't have a baby then, which is an absolute huge blessing. And I can't tell you enough how much as a father, let me switch this around. How much as a father and as a husband, like how empowering it is to grow food. I grew up in Pennsylvania, so there's Amish everywhere, so it's traditional farming, which is beautiful and awesome. But like, this is next level, what you can grow here, and it's just this beautiful system. It could be as wild or contained as you want. It could be beautiful, and it can be organized, or you can kind of have like this organized kind of chaos. My wife and I are constantly dancing between the two of them. But it's so empowering to be able to show my boys, hey, we don't need to eat candy and all this other stuff that all the other kids are doing. You don't have to be like that. Like, they're athletes, so come outside, grab some fruit, and help me plant so you can see what's there. It's empowering for them. It helps me have patience as a father to slow down, to show them how to plant, to show them how to amend the soils, to teach them about why this fruit's important, to test fruits. We go to exotic grocery stores, or we go to the like Asian markets all the time and try these fruits, and then they eat it. So then we get to build this system like this where the boys just come outside and grab it and go. And like, that's like, how cool is that? How cool is that for a dad, just to have a grab and go? Your pharmacy's literally just outside your door. So these are the systems that we're building throughout Florida. We're primarily like really honing in from like Tampa down to Naples. That's our wheelhouse. And there's so much that you can grow here. And you can also grow stuff for like shade. We put in these eurekas or arecas, however people want to pronounce it. They're great, create a great cool tropical border. They create shade. They're super dense. If I had to do it over, I would have put like an edible bamboo here, some Suriname cherries, a sapodilla line. It's a native, it's like almost like it's a peach, or it's a pear like dipped in, it's just like sugar and like it's honey. It's fantastic. But you can create a wind hedge so the wind's not knocking everything over, and then you can also have these beautiful tropical fruits that are native. So it's awesome. And the great thing is like, so what you kind of see here is we have the avocado, we have the mangoes. This right here is a guava. So we tucked this guy in, and that's kind of what we're doing with that system over there. We have the chaya right here. We have the canna lilies right here. We have kind of like the shade that's going right here with the coconut. But this guava right here, it's gonna serve the same purpose as the strawberry guava over there, as the peanut butter fruit of the cherry. They're these shrub layers that are gonna be cool, you're gonna be thick, you're gonna fill it in and create some privacy. Like from the road, we'll kind of create some privacy here, but at the same time, they're productive. They fit right underneath the canopy that we're gonna have here for the mangoes, even though they're dwarf. I have an awesome thorn that's in the bottom of my foot right now. Man, this is like a daily thing. I don't know. Any other wives are watching, if this is your husband, you get it. But these are systems that we are building out. If this is something that you want at your property, take a look at this one right here. We built this one out in, I don't know, just click on it, you'll take a look. But this is the system. So we're gonna go through, eventually have paths. This is my own personal property, just a little project that we worked on this weekend. And this seems to be like a really cool wheelhouse, manageable size of things that we're doing right now for people. Just put one like this in Bradenton, but we included a banana circle in that too. I'm gonna get that video up. We did something like this that it went around like the house, so it will be all this landscape. We chose not to really do edible here. It's more of like natives, but you can go the whole way around your house. So as you walk out, you grab and go, like we said, or you can do more of like little nest areas. So like something that would be around that oak, you can make everything around that oak is edible, and it's this nice, beautiful, lush area that goes around that. And then in the oak, it could be shade tolerant plants. So the beautiful thing about so many of these systems, it's layering. You just keep layering and you can just keep adding. Like this might look sparse to you right now. You're like, cool. This looks sparse in the beginning too. Now like, look at this. And it's the dry season. Wait till this thing starts ripping when the rains start coming. It's pretty wild. And this is just so humbling when things aren't quote unquote working. It really helps me to slow down how valuable these systems are. So if this is something you want to get in, if you want to bring back, brother-in-law's car, if you want to bring back Eden, comment, grow below. We'll get you going. Also, for your system, what's the staple fruit trees that you want to see growing? What questions do you have about not only a system like this, but something that you can potentially grow at your own home? We're giving free online discovery call consultations, 20 minutes. We'll go overview of your property, some things you can start growing, and then we can come out and we can actually do a consultation. Take a look at your property, take a look at like just the vision, the dream that you can do. We'll do a design, install, maintenance. We'll show you the whole thing. Anyway, bring back Eden. God is good. We're so blessed. Let's not forget why we're here and why we're building this, and just the beautiful blessings that we have. Beautiful blessings that we have, and to just always stay in gratitude. It's one thing to go to a grocery store and you can just always have food whenever you want. It's another thing when your harvest is big and it's abundant, and sometimes it's not, depending on the season. So you learn to appreciate the little things. Can be, when you grow your first avocado, that little thing can be monumental, and we want to share that with you. So let's bring back Eden.